Hey guys, I'm Tara Michael Mai and welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hello, how are you? My name is Tara Michael Mai and this is my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for coming. So in today's video, I first want to address, and hopefully this resonates when I get into editing. I fixed the lighting. I fixed the lighting. I have a vlog where I'm showing you guys how I set up my film studio. Hope you guys enjoy that. And then I have a video that's already out that you can watch right now where I did my end of the month BoxyCharm review. Really cool lighting, but when you're doing a try on, I should have had my more aerial lighting on as well, so it brought a little bit more of that white balance light down on me because we had such cool purple lighting. So today we have blue lighting and I made sure my overhead lighting is on so it does not drown me out. But this is not a review. Today's video is just a get ready with me. I just want to kind of chat about some stuff that's been on my mind and do my makeup while I talk about it. I'm drinking water today, not wine. I really do need to, plenty is my cardio, but I really do need to be sucking down water all day, every day at this point. And y'all, it does not matter. This came from Charmin Charlie's. I think they're all closed down for the most part. But it doesn't matter how long you leave this out. This thing keeps your liquid cold. Oh, and it's so good. But today is another date night. I don't put dates on here just because I film like crazy now. So they don't come out the day that I'm filming them, of course, or even the day before. But this is the day before 4th of July and it is date night for me. So I figured, why don't I get ready and hang out with you guys and just kind of chat about some things. Hang out. I gotta get better with my another thing I do. I gotta work on it. So sorry if you're one of those people that annoys, because it does annoy me as well, but I'm working on it. What do I want to do? I have a cute little periwinkle top on. I like it. Let's see. And I have a really cute little like draping gray cotton skirt. So I want to do a fun little look. And I don't really have a lot of makeup videos anymore, but I also don't just want to set up and do tutorials anymore. I feel like we got enough of those. And honestly, they're kind of dying out. You got to do a little bit more. And this new generation of folks are smart. They don't be needing us. They don't be needing us old makeup artist pros. But if you do and you want some stuff, some tutorials or suggestions on little things you would like to know how to do, either on myself or I can have somebody come sit in and get their makeup done for free so I can teach you, let me know. Let me know. But I'm just going to do my regular routine and hang out with you guys. Just a little update. I'm still with my same exact therapist and I love it. It's been over a year. I had got my therapist 2000, was it before the pandemic? Yes. I think 2020. Yeah, November 2020, I got my therapist. And it is now July 2022. And I am still absolutely loving my therapist. I look forward to talking to him. He is really awesome, very good therapist. Very straightforward, which I love, and super supportive, really cool. Even him and his wife, when I do post YouTube, they watch it, and it's really nice. The cool little support that they have for my videos is nice. But just to segue into that while I'm working on my makeup, and you'll see instead of me telling you guys what I'm using, I'm just going to pop them somewhere on this screen individually so you guys can know what they are if you're interested. But to segue into that while I just hang out and work on my face for date night, he always encourages me to make sure that I am expressing myself and addressing things either when I'm in a calm, logical state of mind, or if it's something that I can address at that moment without getting overly emotional, because emotions are not bad, you know, especially as women, we're always told that our emotions are bad. They're not bad. It's just important to know how to control them when you can and where you can. but to address them in that moment. And it got me thinking. I remember, and my brows going in, my brows still doing good. But I remember when I first posted, and it's somewhere on here. If you want to look for it, you can. Maybe I'll link it at the end of the cards, where I posted the reason I took a break. I don't even remember what the video was called, but it was basically like, you know, why I left YouTube, or why I can't do this anymore, why I stopped being so consistent. And it was like about what happened with the whole getting a house that I had rented for. I was going to rent from my father. And I actually originally had wanted to set up to buy it from him. But I can understand if you don't want to sell one of your properties, whatever. But I actually set up to want to buy from him. And anyways, if you've been on my channel, I'll link it if you're interested. But if you have been here before and you've seen it, I was just talking about the things that transpired as to why that didn't happen in the history of our relationship, which is now sadly non-existent. But through therapy, I did have to learn that you shouldn't feel guilty about letting really, really bad relationships go, even if they are family members, especially if they're the same pattern and they don't ever improve, you know? And I had posted about it, you know? And it felt really good. It was more for me to talk about it, to explain the gap in my filming, and to just get it off my chest. And honestly, filming is my happy place. Creating is my happy face. Making music is my happy face. Well, it is a happy face, but making music is my happy place. I am an expressive person, and I do it through art. And that's any form of art that I enjoy or that I happen to be skilled at, like music, cooking, drawing, filming, editing, painting. I love to pick out clothes and stuff like that. Those are the things that I happen to be good at, and they just make me feel good. And that's the way I prefer to express certain things in myself. But I put it out there because I wanted to. I understand that when you choose to put yourself on any public platform, be it little, medium, big, whoever, you know, you open the floodgates for people to, and I don't want to use the word judge, because we all at some point judge somebody. You shouldn't, you try not to. You try to do your best with it, being a fair person. But I don't want to use the word judge. You open the floodgates for opinion, right? And sometimes assumptions. And I just remember when I posted that, I got a lot of support on it, both private and public. And then I got some, I won't even say that it wasn't supportive. It was a comment that I've long deleted. It was a guy, and apparently I know him from somewhere, but he didn't use his real name on YouTube, which is understandable. You don't have to use your real persona online. So I can't remember who he was, like how I knew him, which I wish I did. I think we could have had a better conversation about it. But the comment's long gone. And me just being consistent with therapy just had me thinking about this. And this is what my therapist meant. Like, make sure if something is going to bother you and fizzle up in you, to address it. Even if it's journaling about it right now when you're too much in your emotions, express it. But anyways, me and my rambling self. Let me grab a sip of water. Have a seat. This will probably be another long one. I hope not, but it probably will. But the comment is long deleted. And I just remember it's still on my mind. And I don't remember verbatim what it says, because I had deleted it after I just did like a nice generic response. Because I also don't believe in, even if you are upset, you know, try to watch what you still respond. Because even if you delete it, it's there forever. People have seen it. That other person has seen it. And, you know, you publicly put those words out there. So I try to be careful with that. But something along the lines of this commenter, he had said, he has some good advice, because I was talking about all of kind of things financially and how I was looking forward to kind of saving more money and getting a leg up, you know, and it was nice to be able to rent from somebody I didn't know, the person that helped birth me, and it was just a different situation, you know, that I was looking forward to. Did not pan out. I won't go back into why. that video is here, you know. But he had good advice about making sure you had multiple streams of income and, you know, always a backup plan, always your own. Those were great pieces of advice and things that I do try to do when I know how to do them. I don't just jump into streams of income because I don't like to be ignorant on what I'm doing with money. I'm pretty good with having backup plans, but the other half of it sucked because it was so assumptive, you know, and I knew that it was like geared towards women because this is what that person commented, and it sucked so bad and it bothered me. And I didn't realize that it was still bothering me until like my therapy session last week. But it bothered me because the person really did just assume that I came into a situation, you know, with my father. It could have been any man for all I care, with the idea of, hey, I'm a girl. This is just going to work out. I expect this person to do something for me. I don't even remember if they were saying that I was like expecting it for free. It's so vague, but it was something along the lines of like, you know, this is why you don't expect people to do stuff for you and you have your own and to fall back on, and you put yourself in a situation to be treated like that. Where I agree with him is that I put myself in a situation to be in a trade-off with somebody who has never shown me that that kind of relationship could work, because our personal relationship as father and daughter has never worked. And that's where I agree. I should have thought it through, like, hey, maybe this, even just doing business with this person is not going to work out. But what I didn't agree with is his assumption of assuming you're just going to get something for free, assuming you can fall back on a guy. Women do this often, especially when a woman of color, and then you're down and out when it doesn't work out and you don't have anything to fall back on. It was so frustrating to read it because it has never been my situation, and I was always raised to not make it my situation. But in that moment, I was like, what is it going to do for me or this person to go back and forth in the comment section? Because you don't know the depths of what happened besides what I'm posting here. And I don't know you enough to go back and forth with you about exactly what happened. And I also don't want to get frustrated and draw attention to you or me in these comment sections and even make anything of it, because like I said, the internet is forever. But I'm not going to lie, it was really frustrating. When you put stuff like that online, it does come with public opinion. That's cool, you know. But it took a lot for me to put that video out there. It was the first video that wasn't done like professionally for like a show, or when I worked for the school or things like that I didn't film. My boyfriend filmed that video for me while I spoke. And I was so nervous about that because it was the first time I was being vulnerable. He was watching me film. He was behind the camera and I was talking. I was really emotional. You know, I was finally settled into my place again, but it was a lot for me to put myself out there in front of somebody I'm dating that actually witnessed that situation go down, that was also a male, and they had their thoughts about how I shouldn't have dealt with that person. And that's fine. And like I said, hindsight could have been different, but it really bothered me, I have to say, that the person had wrote those assumptions, you know. And I feel like now that it's so long ago and I've grown and I figured out and still figuring out who I am and how I am when things bother me, I've grown from that situation. I've moved on from it. I think now I can talk about why it made me feel so, you know, it made me feel such a way. It made me feel down. It made me feel upset because, first off, I have never expected anything from a person that has helped to birth me, that has also never done a thing for me. But at the same time, sadly, and it's just the truth, I just never expected him to, because he wasn't around. And I also had a really awesome grandfather that I got the privilege to have in my life up until 15, going on 16, and he sadly passed away. So I had a beautiful example of fatherhood in him. I lived with my grandparents up until I was 16 years old, and my mom. And so I knew what that part of love, it can't replace a dad, of course, but I knew what that kind of love felt like. And I also had a great example of, if you are going to expect something, what to expect and how to be independent and all of those things. So it bothered me because I have never had that relationship, with my father. And there has been so many times in my life where he has, needed something and I was there. And it wasn't like I was coming into this home and being like, yeah, I'm going to get something because it's my dad and willy nilly and come save me. I had never in my life till this day, I'm 32, never lived with a man. And a man has never lived with me. And that's a lot of that comes from just being raised by my grandparents, in addition to my mother, to, old saying, don't play house. And that was just the way they raised. I'm not judging anybody that does that. Oh, please, please, please don't think that. That's how I was raised. And it just was embedded in me from little girl up until now. And yes, would I move in with my partner if I wanted to, yeah. But I had never lived with a guy. I have never lived off of a guy. A guy has never lived in my household because I just wanted the situation to be more stable before I moved in with anyone. My grandmother just believed in moving in with somebody once you were married or at least engaged. So, the comment just, it sucked because I'm like, well, not only have I never lived off a guy, because you're saying that, this is what we do and this is why we're not prepared when stuff happens. Not only that, but I had never even had the opportunity to count on my father, which that's where you're right. You don't expect somebody to change just cause. But I tried to come into it with a business mindset. I wanted to buy it. It would have benefited that person or him to make money off the house and benefited me to be not in a situation with a landlord. When that didn't work out, I was paying, to stay there. I had a deposit down. Everything that needed to be done with the house that wasn't as the landlord, my father's responsibility, came out of my pocket. I had contractors. My contractor even did a lot of the work that wasn't done by the time it was time for me to move into this house. I had a contractor fix all those things and even do my cosmetic work. Everything, door replacements, holes, wall flooring, putting flooring down for me, painting all the rooms. And I had paid for this out of my own pocket. And also got the appliances. There were none there, even though he had said he would do them, which had brought me to the point of that comment. He's like, you relying on something instead of being prepared. I didn't. Besides what a landlord is supposed to do, I didn't rely on him to do anything. I made sure, and I know him and dealing with how that person can switch up. I had all that stuff lined up. I bought my appliances. I had my things in order. I had my movers. I had the repairs that I wanted to get done and that needed to be done even took care of all of that. And ego, frustration, and this person this is not coming from my opinion. This person, my father, admitted to me that he was absolutely wrong about. Ego got in the way and being wrong and not wanting to just apologize is the reason why that fell apart. And like I said, I can take responsibility for rushing into it and moving in and the last minute, trying to scramble with the movers and not, understanding that that person does switch a lot and not, hey, just in case this doesn't happen because I've dealt with you, what am I going to do next? That part I can take accountability for. But it bothered me, and I realized it was still bothering me all this time later with a conversation that I had with my therapist. And it's so important to just know when it's time to speak about something. Wait till you're not super emotionally invested so you don't say the wrong things, or you can convey your point and handle it, But it just, to this day, I will always have that question as to why did you assume that? Maybe in the video I didn't explain it right because I still was in the height of an emotion, even when I thought I waited enough time to talk about where I went, Whatever the case, it's always going to be in the back of my mind. Like, why did you assume that, I'm some person that just figures, hey, I'm a girl and I just want, a free ride and have no backup plan and not pay a dime. And that just simply has never been the case for me ever, ever. I'm quite a responsible person. I always have been. I've lived on my own since I was 20. Yeah. And I've always been responsible. And when I needed more money, I never did just look to a man to take care of it, or a woman, a friend, anything like that. I would just get another job. If I genuinely needed help and I trusted, my partner to assist, I would take it. But it's also been plenty of times if I did need any kind of help, it will be the last resort to ask. And if I didn't feel comfortable, I would opt to make sure I pay them back. And each time I would pay them back. But it was something that I understood. I understand now that I am still working on, understanding that you can't control what people see or believe about you all the time. All you can do is be yourself and keep working on yourself. And when you get on these kind of platforms and you want to talk, I don't ever want to not be authentic and talk about things that I want to talk about and be vulnerable about things that I want to be vulnerable about. I don't want to not do that. So it's just a reminder that you still have to work on having that thick skin and understanding not everybody is going to have the same view as you, which that I've had down pat for years. But not every comment is going to be an easily digestible comment, and not every fight is worth fighting. You know what I'm saying? And if you do want to address it so it's not boiling up, wait till you are in a better mental state to talk about it with that person. But at the time, like I said, it just didn't, for me, make sense to reply and go back and forth with that person. It just truly, truly didn't, because I knew that they were off base with their comment, but I also knew at the same time with some of what they were saying that they definitely meant well. I just wish that the assumption wasn't thrown upon me that I was in it to look for some kind of free ride with no backup plan and just hoping that I could be bailed out of a situation, when that was never the case. It was something that was actually talked about for months prior. I had not, and I'm back at that. Like I said, it's all in the video, but I am still to this day at my original place of residence before that situation. Don't owe a single penny of any kind of rent or anything like that. And I didn't when I was leaving. I just wanted to know what it was like to have my own. You know what I'm saying? Knowing it was like to save a little bit more. I wanted my own backyard that was gated for my pets. I wanted to customize my home even more. I wanted to see if maybe in a year, when my father, who it still was a business deal, he still was a landlord, saw how responsible of a tenant I am, and I have always been, would want to negotiate purchasing a home. It's nice to own something, and it would have been easier to do it through that person. But by no means did that mean or indicate that I was looking for this free situation, this bailout, and that I was just relying on that to be what worked. And that's what sucked for me. The reason why when I turned around, I had to think about what I was going to do next, because it would literally, the situation transpired in a matter of 24 hours, literally 24 hours. That transpired. And I was in a new job role at the time, and I had my pets with me, my stuff there. And I within that one day, and I'll never forget how this all went down, I had to pivot and go figure out what I was going to do, because I was in a 90-day period with my job and I couldn't not have somewhere to be to not work. So I ended up going to my mother's, getting my mind situated to see what I would want to do next. And to me, what made most sense at that time was to just reopen my lease where I was. I had no old rent. I had no reason that my current landlord wouldn't want me to come back. We had great relationship, great standing, bills paid, quiet, no damage to the property. So that is why I had that little space in between where I had to figure out what's next, And I think I say that to say this. It's okay to have different opinions. It's okay to disagree with somebody. It's okay to not like something. Like, I had a TikTok comment. I don't know if it was based on a piece of artwork I have in the house, or a cover I did of a Billie Eilish song that I did differently because I'm not Billie Eilish, I'm Taryn and I sing like Taryn. And either way, it was a comment, oh, I'm sorry, I'm not feeling this at all. And I just responded so politely because for me, I felt bad that a person would even have to feel like they need to say sorry for not liking something I do, whether it's music or art or whatever. And I just put, we're all different. We all have things we like and don't like, and you can't please anybody. Don't ever be sorry for that. You're not saying, hey, you raggedy such and such, you can't sing, or yo, that outwear in your house sucks. I would punch you in the face if I saw that. You're not doing anything like that. You're saying, hey, I don't like it. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with having an opinion or a dislike or a different outlook on something. But it's definitely problematic when we assume, right? It's definitely problematic when we put people in boxes, that they don't even deserve to be in, or that's just not how the situation went. But at the same time, you waste time trying to explain to every single person what you meant or what the situation was. And here I am, 2 years later, even talking about this. That was 2 years ago. And I'm glad, because to address it at that time, it would have gone ugly. And it just would have been counterproductive because at that point, that commenter, that viewer, he had his mind set up on what he thought the situation was. And like I said, he had some great advice about some other things, awesome advice. But the comment within itself, which was like 2-3 paragraphs, the assumption within itself was really wrong. And it's nothing wrong at all. If you want to rely on somebody and that's who you are, and you also have that support in a male, your father, whoever. But when you live and grow up where that's never been the opportunity for you, that's never been the case, and you know that you came into it as a business transaction, you came in it with fairness, you came in there paying your way, that's really bothersome, or for you to know this is not how your life has been, and someone to say, you always, or that's why you don't, and that's why you shouldn't, and you expect it. And it's like, I didn't expect anything but for what was on my lease and what I paid for. That's all I expected. And when that didn't happen, you don't have to tell me but one time to get going. And that's exactly what I did. And I pivoted and I kept my good standing with somebody, another landlord, and I was able to go somewhere because of my responsible self and me making sure that I pay my way and doing what I am supposed to, not getting anything free simply because I have a vagina, and that really got to me. It bothered me so much. And again, I just say that to say this is so important to continuously work on yourself and learn what your triggers are. And I'm going to say this, your triggers are your responsibility to handle, not the world's, because you can't control everything outside of you. There are going to be some really kind people that are mindful of your triggers, and there's going to be people that don't know anything about them, and then there's going to be people that know everything about them and don't care. Your mental health, what triggers you, is your responsibility. And I stand by that. I stand by that so much. But I like that now. And I don't know, it's just been on my mind lately since the last therapy session. But I like that now that I'm able to talk about it all this time later in a comfortable state, in a state that doesn't make me upset, in a state where, I feel like I have to prove myself to the person that said something. Like, no, this is not, and you don't know, and I'm really upset. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, but I'm glad that I can address that it did bother me now. Because that sat with me in a way that I had no idea did. It just came out in a therapy session. I was like, and I don't know if it's with the climate, with everything that's going on, but it was just interesting to find that was something from 2 years ago, from somebody still to this day. I'm not quite sure who they were, but I believe them when they say they know me. And have been supporting me, but that it came out after all this time. And that's why it's so important, especially as ladies, because we will hold something in and then explode like confetti. No one knows why we're upset because we held it in. Later, it's important to find a healthy way to address your concerns, but it's also important to, how my grandmother used to say, know how to pick your battles. Everything isn't worth fighting. Sometimes little stuff bothers me, and it can even be with my partner, and it's not anything to fret about or something that if I don't talk about it, it's gonna kill me. But I will go and journal, you know, or if I have a dream, I will try to analyze why I dreamt about it, and I will break it down and come up with a solution and see if there's any kind of accountability I need to take, or if there's any kind of traumas I'm still dealing with that made me see a situation in a way that it really wasn't. It just depends on what it was. But yeah, I just wanted to get that off of my chest and talk about it. Because when I say it's crazy, like, even if I don't go back and watch that video, because literally it took so much out of me to even film, and I didn't want to do it and cry, even though I felt like that with that situation. I wanted to talk about it with a level head and not cry through a video. But I'm not going to lie, the situation itself that caused me to film that, and that commenter, it made it so hard for me to even look at the thumbnail without thinking about how that conversation, that comment made me feel. And with me not addressing it, this is why it's so important, guys, to be communicative and find a healthy way to do it. With me not addressing it, I live that. I carry that into my persona, and I let it consume me for some time. Like, oh, this person, it must be right, And I question myself when I do know myself. And I do know I was there. I do know that wasn't the situation. But you have to learn that you can't always control what others think about you, but you can control how you react. And you can control how you grow and how you learn from situations. And you absolutely can control. You absolutely can control how you communicate as well. And so that's been my focus lately. My phone's in there just ringing. But with that being said, it's super important for us to understand that just like not every man is some, woman beating, narcissistic, overly masculine cheater. Not every woman is some gold digger or damsel in distress, or hey, I'm gonna use my pretty privilege, and not like it because pretty privilege is real, but I'm gonna use my privilege to just try to get by and get something off of a guy and keep it moving and not have to pay for it and not have to be responsible. We don't all fit in one box. You know what I'm saying? You have to treat people with a case by case scenario, but it also, now that I'm back on here and I'm working through my 90 days of consistency, I'm actually going to go back on my YouTube and count where I'm at on those days. But now that I'm back on here, it also reminds me to make sure, if I do want to talk about something more serious, that I am in a good emotional state to address it, on my channel. I don't want to address it in the height of that moment, just in case my messaging or what I'm trying to talk about gets lost in my emotion, And I thought that I handled that pretty well, but maybe not, if someone's assumption was that I was expecting for this to just be some free situation, or I was expecting because this person birthed me that he's just supposed to jump in and do me a favor. And I don't think that. I don't think that about anyone. I literally live by nobody owes you anything, and the only thing that is certain to happen to you in this life is the expiration of you at some point. You are most certainly going to die one day. Everything else is just a toss up, and it's a bag of freaking colorful jelly beans, and you don't know what you're going to pull out, And that's literally how I think about things. So I didn't think that, he owed me anything. I just wanted to do business in a proper way and make sure he knew, like, I'm not going to, first off, if you're going to play it like that, he could just look at my track record as attended anywhere. Him being my father, and maybe that was his perspective too. I had to look at it several ways. Maybe his perspective is that I felt like because I was his kid, maybe he was worried that one day I was going to try to, hey, if I'm having a difficult month, that I wouldn't try to pay him rent, which I wouldn't do that because it's not who I am. And business is business, If, say I borrow money from my mother, and I have plenty of times, and she wants me to pay her that money back, and at the time frame that she says, I better be paying it to her in full or communicating that I can't and coming up with the next best and soonest payment plan. I don't think that simply because there's a beautiful, lovely woman as my mother that I don't have to honor paying her back. So, like I said, perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. And while this sucks because I have never been in a situation where he's ever had to do anything for me, like all the stuff, every time we've encountered each other, it's been, oh, let me come around. After several years, and it was me trying to fix the relationship because we've had a lot of things that went down. I've had him do really bad things to me, but just want to give it a chance because, at the end of the day, we can say what we want. Every girl, well, I'll speak to myself. I don't want to say every girl, but I know for me, I had always wanted at some point a relationship with my dad because you can't replace your dad. You can't, but you also have to learn when something is toxic and it's killing you and it's not changing, and you're going to cause more problems for yourself and even your relationships with other people in the future if you don't learn to let go of unchanging scenarios, So I had never given him any kind of, reasoning to feel like I would do that because we never have been in a position like that. And then on the other hand, because we have never been in a position like that, maybe he was just looking out for himself. Because there are kids that don't think they should pay their parents, they don't think they should pay their parents for babysitting or pay their parents back if they give them large sums of money and or pay friends for their businesses and their services. There's plenty of people in this world like that. So I also had to kind of look at both ends. And I think it was just two people that didn't need to do business together and seeing stuff from other angles. And ultimately, me wanting that relationship, me wanting a better financial situation, because again, I was definitely paying my way. It blinded me from the fact that we've never done any business together and we've never had a good relationship. So really, we just shouldn't have even gone into it in the first place, whether it lasted 24 hours or not, And that's hindsight, but you take your lessons and you apply them to your future. You can never go backwards. Just never. You can't. You can't. But yeah, that's just what was on my mind. And shout out to my awesome therapist because he's so good. Even though he literally gives me the credit because he's like, you come in here and you literally pull the things you need to work on out of yourself. But he's got to get the credit too. He's awesome. He's awesome. Yes, I'm big on accountability, but there's also still things that I need to work on. There's also still a drop in the pit of my stomach, especially when it comes to my art. If somebody may not like what I'm doing, and while I respect their opinion, I'm still sensitive to it because, of course, you want people to love what you do when you're creative, But hey, you can't win them all, and be open to constructive feedback as long as it's constructive. Which is another reason why, even if I am just loathing something, I try my best not to put crappy stuff on the internet. Because if it's counterproductive, if it's not helping the person grow, ain't doing nothing but spewing hate and negativity onto that page. And I'm not saying hater, I'm just saying hate. If I want to comment on somebody's page, or maybe somebody, what do you think of my outfit? I want to be a fashion designer, and I don't love the outfit. I can comment if they really want an opinion, not my taste. If they ask why, give them a healthy opinion. But am I really helping myself or that person if I go, your outfit is so ugly and I don't know why you would wear that, and I can't believe you want to be a fashion designer because you don't have it. Is that gonna help them any kind of way? In any kind of way? No, it's not. You know? So the moral of the story is it's nothing wrong with having different opinions, people. But there is everything wrong with not thinking about what you're putting out into the universe, because the internet is forever. And even in person, people, they're just words. Sometimes they're just words. Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they cut deeper for certain people, And sometimes those words that we say, even if a person tells you they're good, last a lifetime and live rent-free in a lot of people's minds. And while they may need to get a thick skin about certain stuff, there's also many instances where what was said to them was just downright nasty and there's no way around it, So I reframe, but I will continue to just make sure that I am accountable and strong when it comes to maybe not my favorite comments or maybe not my favorite opinions, and just learn how to navigate them. And if they do hurt my feelings, take some time before I talk about it, And that's just that. That is my my chat, my get ready with me story time. But I've been sleeping on this pretty fresh ColourPop foundation. I don't really grab for it a lot because by the time we do get some sunshine in Michigan, I'm a shade darker than it. But it's nice. It's a nice little shade. It's light too when you don't want to wear some super heavy makeup. But if you do want to comment, I'm not really at the point where I'm getting a lot of comments on my page. How do you guys handle? If you have a page or if you have social media and people comment, or even just in real life, how do you guys deal with public opinions? Or how do you guys deal with something that might bother you? And how do you pivot from that? Do you react right away? Do you take your time? Do you try to see the points, or are you a stand your ground person and you're like, nope, no, which is cool too. Just curious. You never know how people handle stuff. Oldie but goodie is a NYX chunky cream pencil. What color is this? I can't even see it because it has a barcode. But I want a little periwinkle moment here, so I'm just putting a base down so that I can smooth over some color from my palette. And today it's like warm, but with a breeze, which is nice. This morning it was like muggy. But now we got a nice, steady, soft breeze where you don't feel like you're going to be a hot pocket in the microwave. So that's nice. That is super nice. Day night was really fun. Was it last weekend? Last weekend, and I will have a vlog up about it. Nervous. I never post stuff like that. I don't. But I had a really fun time and I vlogged it. So I'm gonna put myself out there and do it. But it was nice. It was fun. It was breezy. It was cool to meet some new people. It was nice to get dressed up and get out the dang house. I had tried Cameroonian style oxtail because I do not make my oxtail the same way. And then the oxtail, when I get it cooked, when I buy it from someone else who's cooked it, is Jamaican style. So that's 3 different kinds of oxtail. And this particular recipe was quite different, but it was really flavorful and so tasty. I liked it. But it's so interesting how different cultures all can prepare the same meal or meat so differently. And I think it's really cool. I'm looking for a blending brush for this, just to smooth it out a little bit. Make sure y'all can see me. I'm trying to not bend my little braid moment here. My hair can take the form of anything in seconds because it is thick and it's poofy and it's frizzy. And it will stick up If I put it in a cup and take it out the cup, it's going to become the cup. And I have to press my hair a lot, which is why I don't enjoy always straightening it, because my hair does not stay straight. It'll be the next day, it'll be back poofy. So I'm not quite a fan of straightening my hair a lot. But the next style I'm doing is, this is going to make it actually easier. And it's also fun to straighten it every now and then. Have to remember to stop singing songs I can get copyright struck for. I think I'm gonna have to make an orange, not an orange. I'm gonna make a peach for this color. A pink, a blue. Golly, jeez, oh Pete's. You don't have to be spot on either, you know. Don't have to be the exact match of my t-shirt. I just have fun doing that sometimes. I got away with it in one video, so I'm gonna sing it. Oh. And see, it's the only thing about using a different brush when you want to make that angle and you mixing colors. If you don't do it on the separate palette, you won't get the same hue. She's looking for a raised moment, and I'm gonna clean it up, but I was definitely looking for a more little clickety poo. I know I'm binging me some Stranger Things tonight though. That is our show. I'm gonna watch that while I edit. And we all know the long process of rendering if you are an editor. And I'm gonna binge it up, honey. I need to go get me some flips. And apparently there is this crazy guitar scene on one of the episodes that I absolutely need to see. It's a metal guitar scene and I just have to see it. Like, it took everything in me not to go YouTube it, because I don't want to give myself any spoilers for the second half of this. And we don't watch it without each other, so let me see. Let me make sure he ain't got some of those little red bars on there. We gonna have some issue. We gonna fight. Better not have watched Stranger Things without me, 'cause he gonna get beat on up. Well, his family back home and stuff and mine's used Netflix, so I wouldn't even clock them for it, because it's stuff I know I didn't watch. And when I log in, it's like my siblings, my cousins, my niece and nephews, the daycare kids done watched, so ingredient. But doing makeup is so fun and relaxing. One thing NYX is gonna give you, honey, is a base. It's gonna give you a base, boo. And it's gonna always serve base. I'll love NYX forever. I shall. They just have nice stuff, you know? Okay. And with the amount of palettes, if I ever get around to doing my actual like makeup collection video and tour, that's why I'm trying to use more palettes, because I have so many and I get in the habit of using favorites or just what's in the front. And that probably means I need to organize and rotate. that I sleep on such good palettes that I've never even gotten a chance to open, and that's just not the tea. You know what's gonna be nice too, now that I have glasses, is I won't have to keep squinting and creating those crepiness under my eyes, because I squint so much because I'm nearsighted in this eye. But now that I have glasses, I can stop. But I'm not used to my glasses yet. So I have quite the bad habit of continuing to do it. I'm looking at the clock. Time flies when you're filming. I'm looking at the time because I'm going to have to stop and post that a new video is out and make a thumbnail. And I have like 10 minutes to do that, so I should probably go make a thumbnail because it's gonna take me a little bit of time. And then finish my get ready with me. So let me go do that and I'll be back. Got my thumbnail done. I like it too, it's a nice thumbnail. And the video is up, but it needs to process a little bit more. So I'm gonna let it do that, and then I just took some time to talk to my little nephew, Tucker. He's so cute, little cute self. He finally is crawling. He had a little ponytail in his hair, so I just took a little extra time. But y'all, it's like unavoidable to not bend this braid. Let me, the softest little, look, get your hands up. That's what they're, get your hands off of me. I'm so lame. But I don't want to bend this braid, and I want to put on my mascara real thin. Or mascara, what is wrong with me? I'm going to need to start making myself some cue cards. My eyeliner. I'm going to do the cat corner too, since we got little hints of blue right there anyway. This is one of those days too where I have a stuttering headache, where I need to drink more water. No, but I definitely suffer from headaches anyway. And I took one of my prescriptions once I felt it coming on this morning. It's just not helping today. At all. I don't want this super thick. So I don't know what we're gonna do about this headache today. I have a little sleep in the corner of my eye. It's ringing again. I mean, negotiating going to my mom's hair appointment tomorrow only if there's snacks. How old am I? No, but seriously, who wants to sit at a hair appointment if ain't no snacks? It ain't nothing to do, okay? I'm a girl and I don't want to sit at no goddamn hair appointment. But she got some snacks, so we can work with that. We can work with the snacks. Okay. As my hair gets longer, I'm not gonna know what the heck to do because I'm not used to like a lot of length. And it being away. Let me remember how I did it on this. Give it some time to focus. Focus, sister. There we go. Yeah, I know this is going to be a long video. Don't act brand new. You're stuck with me forever. I'm always like, look at these people thriving with their 14-minute content, their 10-minute videos, and I'm over here like an hour or so or 45 minutes. But I like long form content, so maybe that's why I just make it, you know, because I like longer videos, especially vlogs. Like, I like to sit there and get comfortable and watch them. My next vlog that's gonna come out should be under 20 minutes though. But I'm just saying, like, I wanna try to do something for everybody. And my community page is not popping yet, so I can't really, if I take a poll, I might not get enough, you know, information. Am I still recording? Let's make sure. But my community page is it's not quite active enough for me to know if I can, if what's preferred, you know. So for now, I just got to do what I love. And what I love is having a little chitty chat too. No, I just like making longer content. I just like it. It's like something to watch. I like to watch YouTube like regular television, you know. Because it's just, the people on YouTube are more creative than what we get on mainstream television. Yeah, feel me? Just better. Trying to blend this in. My last video, I got a little carried away, but I quite enjoy blush. I think I've discussed that before, that I'm a blush person. It's pretty. I just like the way blush makes your cheekies look. But I don't gotta be looking like Whatever Happened to Baby Jane. I don't know if you guys know who that is in that movie. If I could find like a little PNG to put up in here, I'm gonna do it. But
Yahoo!
This is how much I love old movies. I remember it like it was yesterday, on my 11th birthday. I think it was a time that came up where it was Friday the 13th. So I was born October 13th, Friday the 13th, 1989, in the midnight freaking hour, you guys. So it's always really special when Friday the 13th comes up. So we watched scary movies on my birthday and my little sleepover we had. And I believe Whatever Happened to Baby Jane was in there. And it was just I wouldn't say that was a scary movie at all. It was just bizarre. And for an 11-year-old, it's like, why are you watching Whatever Happened to Baby Jane? Or like one of my favorite movies when I was younger. Two of my favorite movies was like The Bad Seed, which me and my sister literally just had a Facebook watch party and watched, and Flowers in the Attic. But it was just a bizarre movie, and we liked it, so we watched it at my sleepover. And them cheeks was cheeking with that blush, y'all. So I'm not trying to look like that. Oh my goodness. At least I'm going to be ready to go, though, much earlier than last date night. It really is usually my fault if we can't get into a reservation in a timely manner. And it's actually not because I'm doing my makeup. It's usually because I'm filming. I really like, I love filming. Hello, Lucy. You know, always trying to get in. But he likes to, as you guys saw in the last video, he likes to freaking, move my tripod and carry it around. So no, he can't come in right now because this will be creating its own little Zoom if he gets to it, because he'll be moving it. But yeah, it's usually my fault for date night not being on time, because I'll get so carried away in filming. And then I like to set up the kitties with extra food and extra water if I'm gonna spend the night, and make sure it's a breeze in the house. Also like to put on cat TV. Yes, cat TV. So that they have something to watch. Because it's like, I'm sure they get bored like we do, or like sound. I can't find where I put my mascara. So I try to turn stuff on and make sure I haven't forgotten anything and bring my laptop. And it's just, it takes forever sometimes for me getting ready. So that'd be my fault. I haven't been giving this mascara any love. whatsoever. So I want to give it some today. But basically this video is A, don't be confident that I ain't pay my freaking, no, I'm just playing. That's not what this video is, but I did want to talk about it because I was like, you know what? My therapist is so right. You gotta make sure you're addressing stuff. It's because it's also just as bad to boil it up and expect people to understand why you're upset and just conform. We cannot read minds. Intuition, getting a good guess. And people, but you know, it's like, yeah, sometimes you think somebody knows what's bothering you, but a lot of times they really don't. Or even if they may think it might bother you a little bit, but they're noticing you're not saying anything, they're just gonna keep doing things that bother you, and if you don't, you don't say nothing. So it comes to a head and it explodes, right? Last thing to do is just put these lips on. And do some setting spray, but it's not really humid outside. Did I get mascara in my hair? I did. Y'all, I'm clumsy. I'm clumsy. Need to get one of them Nimya fans from Nikki Tutorial. I like the colors though of her brand. It's nice. Are some of y'all old enough to remember Johnny Bravo? That's what that reminded me of. Ooh. Kitty scratch. I'm tired of my cats abusing me. But I love them. I never get them up. I love the kitties. Okie dokie, we are ready. I'm just gonna put on, no I'm not, because the collar is too high. I was gonna say I was gonna put on a unicorn necklace, but I'm not. The collar's too high. Maybe I'll put some cute little earrings. I don't really wear earrings or anything like that. But I'm ready for that night. My makeup is done. We've got to hang out and chat and talk about some things and talk about what therapy and accountability and expressing yourself is so good. You should try it. And that's it for this video. I know y'all been here for a minute, and yeah, I did not accomplish making a shorter video, so I am sorry. But I will see you guys on the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Please do consider liking and subscribing and turn on your notification if you enjoy my content. Till next time, bye.